When you listen to a great song, you rarely hear one guitar doing everything. You hear layers. Each guitar has a role. One guitar can be holding the song together, another one can be adding motion, and another one can be melting your face with an amazing guitar solo. In this lesson, I want to show you how I build parts for a section of a song. Now, if you're thinking more about pop and rock, a section will be called the verse, the chorus, the pre-chorus, the bridge. If you're thinking more about jazz, you'll have the A section or the B section. Now, let me show you the chords first. Now we're playing in the key of D major, so my first chord is going to be the 1 chord, D sus2. From here I'm going to go to the 4 chord, G5. There's no third yet on guitar 1, right? And then I'm going to go back to the 1 chord and I'm going to play a D major with the bass on F sharp. How do you think about this chord? Just play a classic open D major and bring that major third, F sharp, to the bass. And we have a D major with the bass on F sharp. Then I'm going to go to the 5 chord, A sus4 to A major. So as you see here, the first 2 bars is that major section of the song, right? For the next 2 bars, we're going to go to the minor section of the song, even though we're finishing on the 5 chord that is major, right? I'm going to start with B minor, that is the 6th chord, to F sharp minor, that is the 3 chord, back to B minor, the 6th chord, and I'm finishing on the 5 chord, that is A major. Now for guitar 2, let's try to add a little bit of motion here, right? We're going to try to get out of the way of guitar 1 and try to use those same chords but in different inversions in other parts of the fretboard. So now let's make an example out of this, right? I'm going to maybe think about the top 3 strings and I'm going to go higher on the neck. I'm going to go to this one, D sus2, right? From here I'm going to think about a G major, 4 chord, right? Then we have D major again, right? And from here I need to go from A sus4 to A major. So I'm going to first play A sus4 to A major. Now for the minor chords, I'm going to go to B minor. I'm going to go to F sharp minor, maybe another B minor lower in the neck, and then I'm finishing on this A major. Now let's try the same on strings 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to start with D sus2, the 1 chord, to G major, the 4 chord. Then from G major I'm going down to the 1 chord, D major, and from here I'm going to go from A sus4, the 5 chord, to A major. Now for the minor chords, I'm going to go to B minor, again on strings 2, 3, and 4, to F sharp minor, again to B minor, maybe higher on the neck, and I'm going to finish on A major. So now this is the hard work, right? You want to learn all these triads all over the fretboard. In this case, we're in the key of D. Once you feel comfortable with the key of D, you can transpose it to other keys, right? So once you have your triads and you do the work, then you can actually create a part, something that sounds musical, right? And I came up with this idea. So this time I was putting triads in different sets of strings, right? For D sus2, I was thinking about this one, and I was hammering to D major on top 3 strings. For G major, I was going to first inversion, strings 2, 3, and 4. Then for D major, I was going back to second inversion, strings 2, 3, and 4. For A sus4 to A major, I was going on top 3 strings, A sus4, A major. Then for the minor chords, I was going again to strings 2, 3, and 4, root position, F sharp minor first inversion, B minor root position, and then I was finishing on A major root position. Now for guitar 3, we're going to try to play a solo for 4 bars. The idea is to use those triads also melodically. It's a little bit harder because every time we take a solo we tend to think about scales, but sometimes to think about triads when you solo is great too. Here's how that sounds. Now, as guitar players, whenever we think about soloing, we tend to look for that first position minor pentatonic box, right? Actually, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm gonna think about that box, but I'm gonna try to look for triads around that box, right? So if we're playing the key of D major, I'm gonna go for B minor pentatonic. That's the relative minor of D major. Now I'm gonna look for the chords around that box, right? So the first one was D sus2, I'm thinking about this one, strings 2, 3, and 4. And these two notes are inside the box, right? Then for G major, I'm gonna think about this one. Even though that G note is not on the pentatonic, I still have these two notes inside the pentatonic box, right? Then I'm gonna go to D major, so I'm gonna think about this one, right? Here I have the 3 notes inside the pentatonic box. And then from here, I'm gonna go to A major. For now, I'm gonna think about this one, right? And then I'm gonna go to B minor. Of course, I'm gonna think about maybe this one, no? Because I think I'm going higher on the neck, right? Then I'm gonna go to F sharp minor. I'm gonna think about this one. Back to B minor, this one or this one. And then I'm finishing on A major. So I'm gonna think about this one first, and then this one. Now, these are just ideas, right? Starting points and finishing points. You still want to try to sound musical. So sometimes your blues licks are going to help you a little bit to hear, right? For example, my first phrase went like this. So remember, D sus2, right? It was this chord. But I was looking at these two notes, part of the chord, right? And then, of course, I was bending to the major third of G. And then my last note of the phrase, because then after this I was just playing some notes of the scale, but I was already thinking about G major. And here is the G major triad, and I was actually finishing on this note, that's the 5th of G, D, right? So again, play some notes of the scale, but think about your chord tones, right? So in a way I was thinking about this D sus2 to this G major, and this phrase came. For the next bar, I have D major to A major, right? So I start like this. And what I'm doing here is, I'm starting from a chord tone of D, and I'm just running the pentatonic. And guess what? My last note is an A note. That is a common tone between D major and A major, right? It's the 5th of D and it's the root of A, right? And now the A major chord is coming. So here I'm thinking about this triad, and I'm thinking about this triad, right? But I'm more looking at the B string, right? In this triad, I have the root, and in this triad, I have the third on the B string. So I'm using the second note to go to that third, of course bending, and then going back to the root, right? So that's what I'm doing here. And again, I'm thinking about triads. Then the minor chords, the third bar, I'm going from B minor to F sharp minor. And I'm thinking about this one, right? B minor here. Even though I'm leaving my pentatonic box, it's okay. The pentatonic box is just a starting point, right? I'm thinking about this B minor on top 3 strings, root position, and I'm gonna try to go down all the way to F sharp minor, right? Root position 2. And I'm gonna focus on the B string again, right? That flat 3, right? To that flat 3 of F sharp. And what I'm doing here is, I'm looking for the root, B. And anytime you have a root anywhere on the guitar and you think about the minor scale, the shape is always going to be the same. You have a whole step to the second note, you have a half step to the third note, right? In any B. Or any note actually. This is the beginning of a minor scale. So if I have a B note here and I want to go to the minor third, I'm actually going to bend from the second note to that minor third. So I'm doing this. Right? And now from here, I play a note of the scale, because remember, you have 7 notes to create your lines. The triads are your guidelines to where to start and finish, right? So I'm doing this. And now I'm gonna think about this B minor. And all I'm doing is drawing that triad melodically. Right? And now F sharp is coming, so I'm thinking about the triad, but I'm just gonna go to that A note, that is the flat 3. So I have this. And for the last bar, I'm going from B minor to A major. And remember 2 lessons ago, quartal harmony, right? Building those chords using fourths. So I'm doing this. for B. And the way I'm thinking about that is I have a B note, that's the root, a whole step below is the flat 7. I'm just playing a fourth on top of it. I'm using double stops here, so I'm going like this. Right? And then I have also an E note, that's the fourth, and I have a D note, that's the flat 3 of B. Right? So I'm just putting a fourth on top and I have this. It's a classic move over minor chords, right? Because it's close to that pentatonic box too. And for my last bar, right? B minor to A major. Here I'm thinking a little bit more about scales than actually triads. So I'm gonna go from this D note that is part of the B minor scale, actually the root of the one chord, right? All the way down to this A note. So here for A, I'm thinking about these triads. I'm gonna finish on any of these notes. In this case, I'm gonna go for the root. So I'm just gonna descend using the minor scale. I'm playing triplets like this. So if I put that bar together, I have this. I hope you guys find those ideas useful. Now, let's think about it. Guitar 1 is that comfort place, right? It's that place of creativity. It's that place that we go whenever we want to create something or write music, right? It should always be a comfort place because we need to think about music, not theory, whenever we are creating something, right? Now, Guitar 2, this is the hardware, right? Now we have Guitar 1, we created some music. We need to learn how to actually layer and add motion to that Guitar 1, right? So here's where the hard work starts, learning your inversions all over the fretboard, different sets of strings, and so on. And Guitar 3 is taking it one step further, because this time you want to use those triads as melodies, right? Now, whenever we play a guitar solo, we tend to think about scales. Now, don't get me wrong, scales are great, right? It's a great tool to learn your notes all over the fretboard. But there is this repetitive sound about scales. Now think about it. Anytime you're playing a scale or running a scale up and down, your next note is always going to be a half step or a whole step away from the note that you just played. So there is a repetitive sound going on there, right? If you start playing triads melodically, your intervals are going to get bigger because now you're jumping from a root to a major third. That's already 2 whole steps. Or you're jumping from a major third to a fifth. That's already a whole step and a half. So now your ideas are going to have bigger intervallic jumps. And of course, the biggest reason is going to be to connect the chords, right? Whenever you're taking a solo, you're not playing over one chord. You're probably going to play around 2 or 3 or 4 chords, right? And the triads is going to help you to connect those chords. So start running those triads melodically. It's going to really, really change your sound. All right, guys, I hope you find that lesson useful. See you next time. Bye-bye.